we have 15 months to June 2nd of 2026 to finish in the top two of that primary. And that means it is all hands on deck. It means that we have to have, as the Green Party and as the consolidated left, as the ordinary people who are fed up, and just don't make this just a leftist thing either. Please don't. Because 70% of American independents say that both parties are so bad at their job that we need a third party. 53% of registered Democrats say that both parties are so bad at their job that we need a third party. 48% of Republicans say that both parties are so bad at their job that we need a third party. Everybody knows that we need this option to stand up to the corporate crowd. Everybody knows it. So let go of the ideological purity test. I don't care if you're a Muslim, an anarchist, a communist, a socialist. If you are for the people and against the corporations, you're on this team. You're on this team because this team is standing for your right to have representation in your governance rather than have your government owned by corporations. So that means we need to, as has been said a couple of times tonight, we need to take this message out and stop just preaching to the choir. The people that are already in this room have heard this message, but we need to be communicating this message to any and everyone that will hear it. And we need to get serious about running to win. That there is a culture in this collective left that is about being happy to be on the field. Not if I'm running. We are running to win. We're not we're not out here to play games with these people. And that means that we have to have discipline in the way that we structure our campaign. We've got an incredible campaign team, and we are going to build field teams that go out and get the work done to win. It also means we have to fundraise. And I know that a lot of leftists make a virtue out of poverty, but the aim is to eliminate poverty, not to celebrate it. That means that we have to get serious about raising funds. In the Islamic tradition, there's a saying of the Prophet's cousin Ali, may Allah be well pleased with him. He said that if poverty was a man, I would have slain him. The goal is to end the thing. And that means that we have to pool our resources and get serious. The good news is we only have to do it once. As Dr. Jill mentioned, you now have public funding for elections. You have equal access to airtime in a place like Mexico. You have similar structures throughout Europe. The American people do not want elections to be sold off to the highest bidder. But unless and until somebody breaks through the duopoly that has campaign finance reform and public funding of elections as a core principle of what they're doing, they're going to continue to have that. So we have to fundraise like all hell, one good time. Because I'm telling you, if we win the state of California, the duopoly is broken. If we win the state of California, the duopoly is broken. They will not recover from that. They can't recover from that. So they're going to throw everything at us, but we need to fundraise seriously. And we need to also make room and welcome the new wave of people that have been inspired and lit ablaze in the interior of their beings by the struggle against police brutality and police violence, by the struggle against genocide, by the struggle for the dignity of immigrant communities. And my own wife, my mother-in-law did not see her brother for 23 years. My wife's Mexican-American, first generation, didn't see her brother for 23 years because after she came here, she couldn't go back to Mexico, lest she risk not being able to come back and be with her kids. So we are talking about struggles for basic human dignity, families being broken apart in this modern era, the same way that they were broken apart in the era of enslavement for my ancestors. This is a moral imperative, and we have an opportunity to stand up together, no longer mobilizing in silos around issues, but organizing for political power that will allow us to fight back against the people that make us suffer through their corruption. I'm going to give a couple of policy pieces and then I'm going to call this thing a wrap. I've already talked about single payer healthcare. We are running to bring universal health care to the state of California. What you may not know is that the Democrats passed it when Schwarzenegger was the governor because they knew he would veto it. And then in classic fashion, as soon as they had power, they couldn't pass it anymore. Weird how that happens. It's almost like they're controlled opposition and they're just trying to pretend like they're doing something progressive, but really what they're doing is laying down for the corporations and doing a kind of performance of resistance. The point of that is to say that the people of California have already come out in support of this. We can and will get it passed if you help me take that governor's mansion. Protecting immigrants' rights and immigrant communities. Gavin Newsom, AB 15, this bill that was put forth to prohibit coordination between the California Department of Corrections and ICE. Gavin Newsom said that if it reaches his desk, he'll veto it. ICE, come on in. I'm going to hand you over information about California residents. I'm going to hand over California residents to you. With me as governor of the state of California, no unconstitutional mandate will ever be respected. The feds are going to have to go through me and the full force of the state of California to touch a single California resident with an unconstitutional demand. That's what actual resistance looks like, not this fake token resistance that is about pretending like you're going to put up a fight, but ultimately kowtowing to the private prison industry. Free tuition, higher education. We used to have it in the state of California. Easiest thing in the world to bring back. These are all 80-20 issues for the people of California. Renewable, sustainable energy, tax the polluters, make the polluters pay for the consequences of environmental degradation. They should be on the hook for these fires. It's not just about, it is about reclaiming water from the Resnicks, but it's also about polluters pay as a simple, basic principle of environmental justice movements across the globe. Clean, green public transportation. Now they pitched this, but what has the rail line been in characteristic fashion in the state of California? It has been a handout by Democrats to their cronies that never actually ends in the completion of the project that they signed up for, because it is essentially a mafia organization where the state hands out favors to its buddies. That's what the Democratic Party in the state of California has become. We can demand better. And I'm going to end on these last two. We've already talked about land back. We've already talked about reparations. You know I'm running on both of those, but I'm looking at Susan's face on the screen. We're running also on state divestment from genocide. We have whole counties. Alameda County has divested and divested all business from anything that touches Israel. We have Israel. So the Zionist entity that shall not be named. We have municipalities, we have university campuses that have divested. This is an extremely popular movement in the state of California. By doing these things, laying out these policy platforms, controlling the real estate developers, making affordable housing available to the people, offering state-run grocery stores in every county so that you can bring food right from the farm to the table and get rid of the food deserts that are so prevalent in urban and rural areas alike. And because it's state-run and a worker cooperative and run at cost, the costs are going to be lower. You're going to be able to keep grocery prices down. These are all simple, practical solutions that can be implemented. California has this reputation for being progressive. Let's put them to the test. And I believe, to end here, that we can win if we actually make this a movement that doesn't just have policies that are good for working people, but that builds relationships with working people and working communities. That if we are not just a party and a movement that has the best policies for Black liberation, but is doing the work on the ground and showing up in communities and building that solidarity, not just the party and the movement that has the best policies for immigrants' rights and for the Latin community specifically, but actually doing the work of building relationships. That's why we need you to volunteer, because that takes people. That's why we need you to donate, because that takes resources. I am not playing with these people. We are in this fight to win. And the reason that we're in this fight to win is that if we leave this to teams blue and red, they will destroy our natural environment. They will launch another endless war that will continue to impoverish us. We have an opportunity in 2026 to hit them and to lay the groundwork for massive electoral damage in 2028 and 2032. This is a long game, and we need your support now. Kick into the kitty.